yourself to us, please.
Well, my name is Andrew Rollins. I'm pastor of St. James A&B Church in San Jose, California.
Okay.
I'm here at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi for this Astro Blackness colloquium. Enjoying myself here.
How are you connected to the conference?
Oh, this is my third one. I've been to all three of them. The first two were in the Holy Marymount in Los Angeles. And Ronaldo Anderson, who along with John Jennings have been pivotal in this. I've been a close friend of Ronaldo Anderson for some years. And so he invited me to be part of this and be one of the presenters.
Okay. And what is your interest in Afrofuturism? What are your thoughts on this topic?
Oh, my thoughts on the topic. Well, I think it represents a new way of black people thinking in a postmodern world. A worldview that is connected to Africanism, but is also linked to the present age, this postmodern world that we live in now.
Okay. And what do you think is a relationship between the Black church and Afrofuturism?
Well, I think that as I said in my presentation, black slave religion were the roots of Afrofuturism. And by black slave religion, I'm referring to the religion that was practiced by the black slaves, that when the slaves were brought to America, when they adopted Christianity, they also maintained many of the African customs, African worldview, African cosmology, African worship style. And this is where you get this unique blend of Christianity. And W.B. Du Bois, the famous African-American scholar, he said back in the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century that the black church was the only surviving institution among black people in America that was started in the African forest. And so that when you look at what we really have here, is something that's really derived all the way from Africa.
You mentioned in the closing plenary some ways that the Black church can grow. Would you mind repeating some of them here?
I wouldn't so much say grow,
Okay.
but would say transform.
There we go.
Transform and become what the black church has to become in order to serve the present age. So the black church is as this challenge. The modern world came into existence in 1600, in Europe. Now, that was the European modern world. But because of colonialism and the far reach of the European world throughout Africa, Asia, and in the Americas, then whatever age all these other countries or cultures were in, they were all brought into this modern world of the Europeans. Now, the thing about the black church in America, it really is a product of the modern world. See, but we're no longer living in the modern world. We've gone into a new era called post. We don't even know what I think the future historians or sociologists or anthropologists will give it a term, but we just call it postmodern now. Like when you look at European history, you go back in the ancient world, and then you go into the Middle Ages, and then you go into the Renaissance, and then on to the modern world. Well, what we've gone through here now, and the whole world is sucked up in it now because of the effect of colonialism and everyone being connected through the experience of European colonialism, that everyone now has shifted from the modern world into the postmodern world. Now, the church, the black church, was conceived in the modern world. But now it has to make the shift to function in the postmodern world. In the article, in the chapter I wrote in Afrofuturism 2.0, I said that right in the Western world, the church that has the experience of adopting two different eras in history was the Roman Catholic Church. See, it was around in the ancient world, it was around in the Middle Ages, and it's been in the modern times. And so whatever has to be done to make the big transformations to adopt to a whole new era in history, the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic Church, went through that, each one of those eras. Now this is the first time all of Protestantism, in fact, is a product of the modern world.
Yes.
See, so with the black church in America being a primary Protestant church in America, it's being challenged now it's not, you see, you're talking about generational shifts, you know, generational changes, you know, you're talking about generational gaps, you know. But this is a bigger challenge than a generational gap. This doesn't happen that often in history. Maybe every 500 or 1,000 years, you go into a new era. And so that's why the challenge is so great. It's not just a generational change, it's a whole new era in history. So everybody, if you got a different worldview, our view of science is different. What we know that we got at least, 200 or 300 million galaxies, and 2 or 3, no, I think I'm not saying 2 or 3 billion, 100 billion galaxies. And each one of those have billions of stars in them. But now we didn't think like that. So how does the church now preach in a time like that? Then we're dealing with the impact of transhumanism, where we're talking about human enhancement through digital chips, through pharmaceuticals, through implants, whether they are mechanical or grafted in different animal parts. I've asked, you know, what would it be like to counsel someone like this? They come in and they said, they said, I'm having a hard time figuring out what I am. I said, well, I can understand that, because you got a chip in your head, you had animal parts grafted on your body, and we even wonder, they ask, how much can a person be enhanced before they're no longer human? You know, because so where are humans going to evolve? That's why they call it transhumanism. The goal is to make us something more than humans, and so now we have to address all this now, and minister in this kind of era, minister to people who will go through these type of transformations. So all of that is involved.
I want to go real quickly to what a concept you introduced earlier about, you said slave religion?
Yeah, black slave religion.
Slave religions. What do you think we can learn from black slave religions in modern day times?
Well, what I learned from it was how resilient my ancestors were. You know. Yeah, that's what I learned from it. That they held on to who they were, and that's important. That you know, we're dealing with time-space compression now. We're going through so many changes, and we're moving so fast, and we're still feeling so alienated in society that it's hard for us. So many people can't hardly find their bearings. But these people found a way to keep their bearings, you know, which help them keep their sanity, which help them to have a direction in life.
Okay. Well, thank you